All right, let's do it live on a First Friday Miracle Edition of Cleveland Browns Daily. Merely Bo, the great Z. It's been a minute, brother. How are you? Look at you. You look great.
The joy in my heart is immense because you are back. You look splendid. You look sun-kissed. You look like you got a little vitamin D.
Still not all the way there.
Yeah, but you look great. You look great.
Benefited, yeah.
And I wore the
look at that.
I wore this for you today.
That's delightful.
To make you still feel like maybe you're on vacation. You went with the double eagle. I actually wore the double eagle over the weekend.
Yeah.
And somebody was like, double eagle?
It's funny when the real one's
pretty good. Well, that's a pretty good place.
That is pretty good place.
It turns out it's pretty good.
What'd I miss? Anything? Anything happen?
You have missed a great many things, as a matter of fact. We have a D coordinator? We have a defensive coordinator. We're not officially, reportedly, but officially. We've got that. We've had, we just miss you, quite frankly. Bottom line, we got the Combine on the horizon.
Combine will be here next week. We'd look forward to that.
The winter games are going on.
Done.
Young Gabriel's crying right now because he doesn't know just yet what's happening with Sidney Crosby, who was injured in their game against the Czech Republic.
Big Pittsburgh guy, young Gabriel. I didn't know that they're big Permani. Does he like the Permani and the nachos at the stadium too?
He said yes.
Permani sucks.
He said yes as though he was insulted that you even had to ask.
It's well documented.
Young Gabriel, do you have an
illness I've ever felt that was
hold
not?
On. You just got big timed. He just rap-reported you.
I don't know what that means.
Picked up a phone and walked off.
Well, young Gabriel?
He's like, hold on, I got to take this. And he walked out.
Well, you know what? I believe that must be a very important phone call. I believe that must be important, and I think we should support young Gabriel until we find out the truth behind that phone call.
Oh, God.
Well, so
Ian Rappaport told me in the middle of an interview, I'm on the phone. Yeah. And then I could see his phone. It was just his wallpaper. He was not on the phone at all. It was just rude.
I do remember that, yeah. I remember that well, yeah.
He literally just looked at me. He was like, I got to take this. Hold on.
So I bet it's important.
It's probably important for young Gabriel.
I think we should be
supportive. Hold on. This is young Gabriel's mentor trying to run it back after he walked in today, proceeded to stick his hand into young Gabriel's chest, pull out the heart, stomp on it, and just go, hey, you'll be fine. Rub some dirt on it.
So I come in and young Gabriel looks like the human embodiment of a Smashing Pumpkins album, Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness. And
it's so funny. I saw a woman on the plane in that T-shirt.
Really?
Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness yesterday on the flight from
Palm
Springs
my
to
rage,
Dallas.
Still just ran a cage.
That's it, yeah.
And he looked very forlorn. And I said, what's wrong? Like, are you Canadian? Because Canada was at the time losing before one of the most insane deflected shots ever. And I'm sure Freeman and many others are jumping for joy at this point. But he was like, Sidney Crosby got hurt. And I'm like, so what?
I mean,
so what?
At one point, J-Mac and I are like, how are we going to talk him off? I'm trying to talk him off the ledge, and Jordan's essentially trying to push him to the ledge and over the ledge. I go, hey, we got to get on the same page because right now he is completely out of it, and we need him the rest of the day.
Big Penguins fan. And then I said, you've had Lemieux, Yager, Sidney Crosby, won how many Stanley Cups? Like,
yeah.
You're fine.
He literally was
was furious.
You're fine.
With me.
You've won a lot.
Yeah,
everything's fine.
Yeah. I mean, what? I mean, Crosby's won 3.
He won 16 and 17. Yeah, 3 in his lifetime.
3 cups, yeah.
So what's the problem? That's why I said, so what's the big deal?
So what? How is he? Is he out? Like, what's the problem? What do we got?
We don't know.
We don't know?
We don't know yet.
All right.
It's not even trending.
Yeah, it doesn't even seem like anyone's worried about it.
It sounds the talk in the locker room after the second intermission, because he went between the second and third period, or he went in the second period. He went to the locker room.
Look at this guy. Look at him. Look at him. Those are just painted on. Look at that. Just painted on.
Look at that. Oh,
we're talking about, because Zagura's trying to
just a little toe kick.
Young
for the
Gabriel,
kids.
I want you to know that when you
make nice with you, because
I'm not trying.
I stomped on your dreams. And
we've already hugged. Don't stop trying to drive wedge. I just said if he had to take a call in the middle of this program, It had to be important, and we should support him until we find out what's going on.
Yeah, it was the.
You don't have to tell us if it's that.
Okay.
It's a serious deal.
Yeah, if it's serious, you can come in here and tell us, and we'll
it's fine.
embrace.
Yeah, we got your back, young G.
Yeah,
Cool.
I was just saying that maybe was it a Sidney Crosby update?
No, I wish it was.
Oh, okay.
Siciliano's reporting lower body injury, whatever that means.
Yeah.
Welcome to the NHL.
So
Andrew.
Sid.
That's what they do. Yeah, it's always
he
lower
took an
body.
Awkward hit from Radko Gudas, who's now on the top of my bleep list, as some people would say.
Get over it.
And now we got to get over it. Like, this is my livelihood we're talking about.
Here's what I would say.
Ari on Twitter says that using his football knowledge, it's at most an MCL injury, won't require surgery, probably can play through it for a couple of games.
Yeah, and that's the talk
Ari on
around the
Twitter.
Canadian locker room is that he's going to be fine.
Siciliano, I can't believe the guy is so upset about Canada's gold medal chances.
That is just,
So he's a Canadian fan
No.
and a Pens fan.
He cares for
so
the
he loves
Penguins.
Pittsburgh and Canada.
He cares for the
more
Penguins.
than America and Ohio. I don't know how else to read it.
blasphemy.
Yeah, then he came at me
being
and he's like,
attacked.
"You had all the Niners Super Bowls." I said, "Yeah, we have won in 30 years, bro. It's
been a minute. It's been a while.
Calm down.
When's the last time you won? He goes 17.
16 and 17,
Why,
which he
why do you
declared to
come
be
in
the
here
greatest.
attacking me immediately?
Which he
I'm clearly in disarray.
I'm not. I'm supporting you. Gibbe's doing this. This is the instigator.
Send him home.
Take a note. Take notes here. This is an instigator
Gabriel.
instigating and stirring the pot. We're good. We've hugged. We're totally good.
Jordan knows. Jordan was in here.
I was in here for it all, from all perspectives.
Dr. J, we spent a lot of time
don't
together
make
today,
today your
and
last
I was.
I
helping
guess
you out
I
of the
just don't
goodness of my heart.
understand what's the issue here.
There isn't an issue. Gibbe's making exactly. Gibbe is making an issue.
I was recapping you might have been at your lowest point in I don't know how long.
A while.
And Zagura came in today and literally ripped the heart out, stomped on it, and said, "Hey, eat my shorts."
I haven't had a good eat my shorts in a long time. That's
There you go.
that's fantastic.
Like that?
The day has improved tenfold, though, for a lot of reasons.
All right.
Well,
so,
good.
So there's your
Well,
update
there
on
we
that.
go.
Team USA is playing now, right? About 2 minutes.
They're about ready to. They're coming out of the tunnels.
All right. So something happened yesterday on my flight back, which I had not seen before.
Oh,
and I
man.
have a theory on why it's happening.
Okay.
So this was around 9 a.m. Pacific. I got a notification saying that my flight, which was originally intended to leave off at 12:56, was going to leave at 1:20. Okay, so it was at 9 a.m. So I
Yep.
said that's the jumping off point. It's going to get worse and worse as the day goes along. And sure enough, 1:20 became 1:40, inevitably became 1:56. So now we're delayed a whole hour.
Yep.
And so now, can I make the connection in Dallas? This is now
That's
a
where
big
we're at.
point of contentious. Can we make the connection? And the reality is it was going to be what was going to be an hour and 10 minutes of a connection time is now 10. But you have to remember, too, that connection time is to departure, not gate close. So, like,
They know you're coming, though. Same airline.
theoretically,
Maybe they'll.
hopefully.
What airline
Hopefully
are we on?
American.
Okay.
So hopefully they take care of business. So we are at the airport in Palm Springs. And it had been departure 156, and all of a sudden I got an alert, departure 142. Well, I've never seen that before.
Okay.
I've never seen us peel time back
Okay.
on a departure. That I've never seen that. It's always just once it's there, it only gets worse and worse. So it got less. So incoming plane lands at 12:56. 12:56. So okay, well maybe we can get this done. So they get unloaded, get us on the other one. Pilot goes, this plane's been running behind all day. We're going to get you from here to Dallas. We got a good backwind. We're going to get you from here to
nice little
Dallas
tailwind, right.
in 2 hours instead of 2 hours and 45 minutes. Okay.
Step on it.
We're cooking with gas. Let's
Yeah,
go.
we are.
Okay, fine. So land in Dallas. Sure enough, get there in 2 hours. The lovely flight attendant gets on the thing and says, look, we got a bunch of people with tight connections. If you don't have a tight connection, please stay seated. Allow for the folks. We have a ton of them in the back of the plane that really have tight connections. Please stay seated to let those people off. What percentage?
This is one of the things that drives me nuts.
Less than 1% listen to that.
Oh no, they listen. They don't care. 0% of people. 100% of people who did not have connections got off as they normally would.
So I think not quite. I was actually surprised at the humanity here. We were in row 17. It was a big plane.
Okay.
We were in row 17. And I would say there were at least a dozen people ahead of us who that stayed seated. And I just said, I thanked every one of them because we still had a tight connect with everything that was factoring in. And so off we go. We got to, it's Dallas. You got to get on the train and you got to do all the things to get there. And it's supposed to be 14 minutes from gate to gate. We've got about 25 minutes so we should be fine. So we take off running. We get there in plenty of time. Then we get on the flight from Dallas to here, and what was supposed to be 2 hours and 45, they did it in 2. So they shaved 45 minutes off of both flights. This is a new phenomenon for me. I've never seen an airline how would you say this? Overpromise a late arrival or departure and then deliver under it.
It's good. That is rare.
So I've never seen this before where once they give you a time, coming in under it.
Yeah.
And it would impact because like when I got the notification we were late, I'm like, we don't need to be at the airport for an extra hour. It's an hour delayed. It's not going to be less than that. Well, it ended up being less than that. And my theory on it is that because we have such bad feelings about that industry right now, that they're setting you up to be disappointed and then they ended up kind of delivering what they're supposed to make you feel good. That's my theory.
I think that's certainly possible. I think that there's also, they are capable of making things up in the air. I mean, that's always, make it up in the air. But I've never seen
very often.
They don't always, no. And I have not seen where they said, we're going to leave it this time, and then now it's going to be earlier. Now, typically you can track where the plane that is coming is coming from and check its status. But, yeah,
it used to be the other way.
You'll take it. No, the last time I was on a flight that I was told it was delayed that left even at the time they said it was delayed to was never.
Never.
It's always later.
Worse.
It's always worse.
You're always stuck.
Much worse.
Way worse.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden to come in under.
I will say that you do have the benefit of being in the climates that where you're not worried about de-icing. You're not worried about any of that nonsense that adds so much time to your travel.
Yeah.
And then you're able to just roll. So I'm glad that you were able to. I think that
it all worked.
I mean,
it was stunning, but it all worked.
Yep.
Yeah. I've never had them come in under before, so that's a new one on me. So good job out of them on that. Other than that, it was pretty smooth. But it did take probably 2 years off my life, just the anxiety yesterday morning of are we going to make the connection? Like that 2 solid years towards the end of my life are gone.
I think we'll get it back.
No? I mean, days like today help.
No, because I think you've gotten a taste of what things should be, and I think that will add years to your life when you actually follow through.
When all of that comes to fruition.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot going on. Some stuff around the league. The Niners are going to host a game at Estadio Banorte in Mexico City. Not Azteca.
No.
Yeah.
Is this a new stadium?
Remember, the other one had a lot of issues.
The Azteca?
Yeah.
That's
Didn't they
the one
have
that's
to renovate the whole thing?
115,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
Is it? I wonder if this is a new stadium there.
Let's check it out.
All I know is they got to go to Mexico City and they got to go to Australia.
You want to know who's really excited about that? Who's already saying that it has been absolutely it's a joke and it's a conspiracy against the 49ers?
Oh, who loves conspiracy in the 49ers?
That's right. So this is Estadio Azteca, officially known as Estadio Banorte for sponsorship reasons, is a football stadium located in Mexico City.
Okay.
Officially the home of Club America as well as the Mexican national team. The stadium sits at an altitude of 2,200 meters above sea level, 83,264, temporarily closed for renovations. And then maybe this is going to be part of the reopening.
So this is Azteca?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
it's just a new name for it.
It's now known as Estadio Banorte for sponsorship reasons.
There was a time it was the biggest stadium on the planet, like the highest capacity.
Yeah.
Like the Cowboys play there a lot. They love them down there. And is it the Raiders?
I want to say a few years ago it was Niners Cardinals is what is popping into my mind.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
What was supposed to happen, remember, like the field conditions were so bad they had to relocate everybody back.
Oh, that's right.
They had to bring the teams back.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
My dad not pleased at all, though.
Which one would he, if he had to pick one to go to, Azteca or Australia?
I think he would go to Australia for sure.
Yeah.
Would he have the patience to be on an airline for that one?
Well, he's flown to New Zealand.
Well, you were a wee lad.
Yeah. So, yeah, he's done New Zealand. So, he could do Australia.
So you
I need to get to Australia. That
you
is
got
like
3 games in London, Madrid, Spain, Melbourne, Australia, Mexico City, Munich, Paris, Rio.
That's
9
great
games
slate.
this year.
It's a great slate. I mean, we're going to get to a point where there's one every week, right? Don't you think?
I would
Yes.
think.
Yeah, I think eventually you get to one where there's maybe not the last 4 weeks when as you're into like chase for the postseason, but I would imagine the first 2/3 of the season, every Sunday there will be an international game. It's probably where we're headed. Those are some good spots, though, man.
Oh man, yeah. I mean,
Paris, Melbourne, Madrid,
Paris for the
Paris boys.
Brown Saints,
Come on,
and Paris for the Saints. A lot of people are like, why the Saints? Have you looked at their helmet?
look at the helmet, baby. It's right there.
It's right there for you.
Make it pretty easy for the French. Oh, see,
Yeah,
those are your guys.
yeah. Those are our guys.
Root for those guys.
Yeah,
Pretty easy.
a little fleur de lis.
Yeah, it's a delight. Can you name the other professional sports team that had a fleur de lis? North American professional sports team with a fleur de lis as a primary part of the logo?
Professional.
The Quebec Nordiques.
Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Guy went to Emory.
The next level is next.
Been defunct for 30 years. No problem.
The next level just ended, actually. I think it's ESPN Radio next. But
That's
who's
a
counting.
nice Flair walk he's doing out there. It's a very good Ric Flair walk he's doing. He's got that down. Just peacocking around with Flair. He may actually leave. This bit of news from the NFL as well. Good job out of you. The Seattle Seahawks officially up for sale. Shefty reporting the Seahawks could sell for over $10 billion, which has set a record for sale of a sports team. Pretty dang good time to sell. Paul Allen's been gone for a while now, and there was some interest in exactly how this would go, but apparently that is sorted out. Do the Lakers have the current record for the most expensive sale of a professional sports team? I think the Lakers just sold
Stand
for
by.
10.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Schefter was on McAfee today saying he thinks that the Seahawks could go for $10 billion today. And he got that from another NFL owner.
So the Lakers.
Yes, Lakers.
$10 billion. $10 billion was the Lakers' valuation.
So the
that's what they
biggest
sold.
ever in the NFL was 6.
Washington?
Yep.
Yeah.
2023.
Yeah. Denver was really high. Was that 5+?
6, I think, right around. Well,
was right
no,
there.
because,
Washington usurped it.
yeah,
I got to tell you something. That is
4.65.
I know
for
it's the
Bucks.
Lakers. But there's and maybe I'm wrong. It doesn't feel like the NFL and an NBA team can possibly be as profitable as an NFL team.
They're not. But there was another one.
The Celtics sold for 6, Commanders 6, Denver Broncos 4.6.
So that's what did
Phoenix
it.
Suns 4, Mavericks 3.5, Charlotte Hornets 3, Mets 2.4, Brooklyn Nets 2.4, Carolina Panthers 2.3. That was a very good investment, I think.
I would say, yeah. I think that the Celtics for 6 is what got the Lakers 10. That was the thing that did it. And I think the other thing with the NBA expansion stuff, you're going to talk about could be upwards of $2 billion in expansion fees for Seattle and Vegas. So that comes in right away. The other thing with the NBA is you do have true international interest in the NBA, overseas interest, like in terms of people
It's
consuming
established.
it. It's a national. I mean, it's a more of a global sport than the
Yep.
NFL is. But if you were to tell me, would you rather own the Washington Commanders or the Los Angeles Lakers, I'd probably choose the Washington Commanders.
Yes.
Pretty easily, and maybe the Seahawks too. Now you got to be careful if you're Allen. Like, not that anyone ever moved the Seahawks, but remember the last time a Seattle team was sold, they sold it to some oil barons from Oklahoma City,
That's right. The
and
Thunder.
and all of a sudden they were the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Seattle SuperSonics.
So that's pretty. It is wild to me. People think that the most expensive NFL valuation right now would be the Cowboys at $12 billion, over 12. But I think if they were up for sale, they might even sell for more than that.
Who's two? Ram it.
Let's see.
You got to own the stadium. You got to be in a massive market like the Giants. Although they don't. I don't know if they own the stadium.
This is from Forbes. Forbes says Cowboys $13 billion. This is for 2025. Rams 10.5.
Yeah.
Giants 10. So good job out of you.
There we go.
Patriots 9, Niners 9, Eagles 8, Bears 8, Jets 8, Vegas 8, Commanders 7.6. That's a nice return on your investment in 1 year.
Quick billion six.
Dolphins 7.5, Texans 7.4, Broncos 7, Seahawks 7. I mean, like you look at this is from Forbes. This is the operating income that they list for some of these franchises. The operating income for the Cowboys is $629 million. Revenue $1.234 billion.
That's pretty good.
The Rams, which is the second most valuable, their revenues were $764. Their operating income $244. I mean, you're talking $629 million. Like the Giants are $180 million. This operating income, nobody's even close to the Cowboys.
Well, they play on a different level. I mean, he's got his own marketing deal. He's got, all of those things that he worked in. I mean, they're the Dallas Cowboys, man. Imagine if they actually won in the last 25 years.
What's crazy is, though, just like think about it from this standpoint. So they make $629 in operating income, $629. 240, that's 420, 640. They make as much as the next three teams on this list combined.
That's
in operating income.
So that I would tell you that
combined.
If you're looking
2
for
through
a
4.
doppelganger for that, you're probably going to have to go to European soccer and say like Real Madrid versus the next three teams in La Liga.
Yeah, but the problem, it's because, and yes, that is probably apples to apples, but because it is the NFL, it's almost more like if the number one team in the Champions League was making as much as 2, 3, and 4.
Young Gabriel could weigh in. I bet you that's not far off in terms of Real Madrid versus the next three. My hunch would be Barcelona, I'm guessing Bayern Munich, and one of the English teams, whether it's Man City. Used to be Man United forever, but it hasn't been them for a while. Arsenal will be way up there. Chelsea would be up there, Man City.
All right, so Forbes has it. We'll see what Forbes.
Those would be
what their
guesses.
comparisons are. Real Madrid is
one
at $6.75 billion valuation. So the most expensive is middle of the pack NFL.
Yep.
They don't have their operating income.
They still have Man United way up there.
Man U is 2. Barcelona's 3, Liverpool 4.
Oh, yeah. How could I forget Liverpool?
Man City 5, Bayern Munich 6, PSG 7, Arsenal 8, Tottenham Hotspur 9, Chelsea 10, Juventus 11.
There you go. What's he all excited about now?
Spurs is not worth $3.3 billion. Come on.
Never won anything.
Never.
They're in London, though, and they own their stadium, I think, don't they? Or do they give them – do they play at New Wembley? No, they play at their own. We played there.
Yeah, that's where we play.
They have their own joint. Yeah.
It's a nice stadium.
Yeah. That would – that's going to be interesting. It's not often NFL teams come to market.
Let alone the
defending Super Bowl champions. Yeah.
Conquering, defending Super Bowl champions of the world.
Yeah, and 3 Super Bowl appearances in the last 25 years and 2 wins. Or is it 4 and 2? No, it's 4 and 2.
They
lost to the Steelers.
Yeah.
Beat the Broncos. Lost to the Patriots. Beat the Patriots.
Correct.
4 appearances, 2 titles.
Quite frankly, they should have 3 titles. They just hand the ball off to Marshawn Lynch.
Fair. Yeah. That's a good run, man.
Did you see? I didn't hear all of it. Robert Turbin, who was with us for a little while, who was a running back on that team, who had some of the legit biggest pipes I've ever seen in my life. Guy was jacked out of his mind. He was on a podcast this week. I don't know if you guys can find the clip or if anybody saw it or if it's even worth. But the takeaway from it, without me listening, so to be fair, was that he said everybody talks about the play and the decision to call the play and this. He said there could be a 30 for 30 on the locker room immediately after that game.
Oh, my God. Cam Chancellor, Richard Sherman, Earl Thomas.
Marshawn had to be out of his mind.
Versus Carroll, Russ.
It had to be something nuts. But that's what he said.
That is a volatile.
And I was interested. I was interested in learning more.
That is a, who would know? Tyvus would know. He wasn't on that team.
I remember Sherm screaming at the top of his lungs, You took that from us. And he was talking directly to Pete Carroll.
Yeah, I believe that. So the thinking behind that call was throw it on third down and then run it on fourth. Because if it's incomplete, you get another play. Is that how he explained it away?
I don't know.
If memory serves, because that play was not on fourth down. It was either on second or third down, and the clock was winding down.
Yeah, because Belichick didn't call the timeout.
Belichick didn't call the timeout, so the clock was winding, and it was
it was second down, and so he knew that he would have to pass and stop the clock or score on one of them, and so he figured if he passed on the first down, that down was actually 50-50. If he ran on second down and it was stopped, they would know that they had to throw it on the next play.
Yeah.
And so his thought process was, I'm going to throw it on the play where it's 50-50. Like, they don't know what we're going to do.
Right. Yeah. Which is sound.
Yeah, but apparently that did not go well.
It's an all-time play.
It's an all-time play. Absolutely all-time. Yes.
Yeah.
And you wonder
legacy
about that.
definer, all of it. I mean, it changes everything.
By the way, you're telling somebody that they stole something from you doesn't go well in the National Football League.
No, it does not. No, it does not go well. All right, there you go. Those are your hot topics today, presented by University Hospitals, special healthcare partner of your Cleveland Browns. The quarterback room. Oh, baby.
Welcome back.
Put our hard hats on, kid. Quarterback room coming up next. You're listening to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Add more fun to your fandom with the Bally Bet Sportsbook app. Download today. Get 50 back in bonus bets. You place your first wager of 10 or more. Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Time to continue our position reviews in the quarterback room. Dr. Z.
This is obviously the most important room in all of professional sports, and it's one that the Browns hope that bringing in a guy like Todd Monken, who has had quarterbacks play their best for him, throughout his tenures and worked with a lot of different kind of quarterbacks, that he can get the absolute most out of. That is something that I certainly want to see happen as well. I was going to say, young Gabriel, I was going to say something here was not right.
These cap hits don't look exactly.
No, they did not. Yeah. They looked a bit robust in some cases, and then non-existent in others where they were quite robust. Look, you've got two young guys who started 13 games for you last year, Shedeur Sanders, Dylan Gabriel, then you've got Deshaun Watson. And obviously the best scenario for the Cleveland Browns is that one of those three becomes the answer. In the sense of Deshaun Watson, it's that he regains the form that unfortunately we haven't seen since the year 2020, if we're being totally honest about it. Now, there were glimpses in 2023. There were glimpses there that maybe, that would be the year that Deshaun could turn it around, where he's 5-1 as a starter, even though really you can't count the Indy game. He gets a credit for that win. But that was the one where he has the great, comeback against Baltimore, and you say to yourself, okay, this is it. We're going now. And then we never really got to see that again. The Deshaun Watson that's 2018 to 2020, which really is so long ago. That Deshaun Watson averaged over 4,000 yards a season. That Deshaun Watson threw for 85 touchdowns and just 28 interceptions. That Deshaun Watson was the highest-rated quarterback in NFL history.
Yep.
That Deshaun Watson completed 68%, 67%, and 70% of his passes. With the Browns in 3 years, it was 58, 61, 63. I thought there was a point in time where it was probably unlikely that he would play again for the Browns. I think that it is now certainly within the realm of possibility. You have a new coaching staff.
Absolutely.
You have a new coach, and he's going to give these guys the opportunity to compete and figure out exactly who is going to be the starter. Was that a luminary that was just here? I think that was a luminary that was just here. Was that from UH? Yeah.
That
was a luminary.
Oh, Gibby.
I can't believe you're asleep at the wheel back there, dude. I'm
no idea
trying
what
to do
just
a
happened.
segment. We have a huge luminary walk by.
Huge in a lot of ways. And all you get a little bit of this.
Nothing. That's an in-our-ear alert.
Yeah, that's got to be known. I got to, little heads up for the kids. Kids in here, middle of a quarterback breakdown.
He was not looking. No way.
Number one. If the communicators could communicate in advance of arrivals,
well,
that would be appreciated.
It would be appreciated.
Would have been nice to know.
Would have been nice to know. That makes a week.
Yes.
That doesn't make a day.
It most certainly does.
That makes a week.
It certainly does.
Jeez.
The reflection, I was able to figure it out relatively quickly.
I had to figure it out while overlooking a monitor that had me on it, which is distracting.
Yeah. And then on a descent.
I know.
This is what you do. It's a good job out of you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
I just don't understand how there wasn't, when
Should
a
have been some
luminary of that level
communication.
comes in, how we're not involved in this.
Yeah, probably should have been.
We should have been involved.
Let's get our top man on it.
I
Get our top
don't
man.
know. What do you want me to tell you? I didn't know.
I know.
I didn't know they were in the
but
building.
that's
That's the problem. That's the problem.
We
that's
should
the
have known.
grievance that we're airing. We're not coming at you,
Okay.
Kebe.
We're not coming at you. We just think
Like,
someone's
you
going to let us know.
You don't think I wanted to say hi?
Of course.
When you get
Yeah.
a luminary of that level that is friends with us, at
Great
least
friends.
let's break a little bread. Let's have lunch
And embrace.
in the studio. An embrace. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
Yeah, like the big dap up.
Oh,
How
sure.
you doing?
Yeah, that's all you need.
Yay.
That's all you need.
That's all I need. Back to what we were talking
Where
about
were we?
before.
Doesn't
We
matter.
were so distracted. Yeah. That I think you're going to get a full opportunity to go through and figure out exactly what needs to be done. And what I mean by that is you're going to get a competition. And I think Shedeur Sanders is going to get a real shot in this competition. I think Deshaun Watson's going to get a real shot in this competition. I think Dylan Gabriel is probably, at this point, would be viewed more as the backup, but maybe he also gets a shot. I think if we've learned anything from last year, you got to just, I think, if you're having a competition, max 2. It's too much to try to have, and it turned out last year was really a 3-person competition, but that was even too much.
It was too much, yeah.
Just a max of 2. And if you can figure it out, the quicker you can figure out, I think the better for everybody involved.
I couldn't agree more. And I think it's one of those things you can't have it. You're pulling, the organization pulls it itself in that way then. And nothing gets done and you're kind of stuck in the muck. And, it was such an interesting one last year because it's pretty wild how the entire offseason was around Kenny.
100%.
That he was going to be it, and then you get into August, and he gets the hamstring, and then he was gone, and it was like, wow, that changed a lot, and a lot of that was Dylan. I mean, a lot of that was Dylan. That Kevin was so impressed with Dylan and what he did early in camp, and then they had Joe too, who they knew how that was all going to work, and then away you go, and it was between those two. So yeah, I think this is a really fascinating one, and I think the other thing that'll be really interesting is if there's another name added to this room. And I think that's something that I'm really looking forward to next week at the Combine is to kind of get a feel of what is the quarterback market? Who's in that market?
I don't think there's a great one, and I would say that if you're looking at it – so here are the names that I would put in the quarterback market. Malik Willis.
Yep.
Okay. I think you're going to have – Kyler is going to be available. I think Tua is available. I think Geno Smith is available.
Yes, all of those.
Smith,
I think Mac Jones is available too. I know Kyle says no, but yeah.
Mac Jones is on like the Malik situation. But I think it's going to take at least a second-round pick to get Mac Jones. Otherwise, they can hold him and let him go next year and get a third anyway.
Yeah.
And also have Mac Jones in event that something were to happen to Brock Purdy, games this year. Willis is going to be the top target. Willis is going to end up, I think, somehow, for a guy who started 6 games, I think he's going to end up making like $30 million a year.
And I think it'll be similar to the Darnold money, and he doesn't have a whole year of starting or 14 wins that Darnold had in Minnesota.
No, and I think that puts him most likely, not 100%, but most likely out of our doable price range.
Feels to me like he's ended up in Miami with Halfley.
Yeah.
If they can make it work money-wise. I don't know their cap.
I know, but if you're him, here's the other thing, though, that people are thinking about. Right now, people seem to think Miami's doing a 1-year tank. So if they're tanking, you don't want to be Malik Willis to come in and start for your first year on a tanking team.
No, you don't want that at all.
So that's an interesting, I guess, wrinkle to it. Look, I think if you bring in a Malik Willis or a Mac Jones or even a Kyler at this point, Tua, I don't know if that's what we're looking for. And Geno Smith, I think, is not – I could be wrong, but doesn't feel like what we're looking for. I mean, you feel bad for Geno Smith. 2 years ago, he was on the Seahawks. He leaves. They win the Super Bowl. He starts 1 year with the Raiders, and now they have the first pick in the draft, and they're going to have Mendoza.
Yep.
So, I mean, maybe you think, look, if Geno Smith plays for us, we're either winning the Super Bowl or getting the first pick next year. I mean, that would be one reason to bring him in. If you're looking like to 2027.
2027,
you quarterback here in 26. Next year, we're guaranteed to win the Super Bowl or get the first pick. I think if you brought in a Malik Willis, he's your starter, period. There's no debate. I think if you trade a second-round pick for Mac Jones, he's your starter, period. There's no debate.
Yep.
I think in-house, I think you've got to really see. Like if Shedeur Sanders, who showed a lot of good flashes, and there's a lot to like about him. You and I, there are a lot that we liked about him, certainly coming out of college. There were things we saw on tape that were very good this year. There are things we saw on tape this year that were not very good. Where is he in his progression in that leap from year 1 to year 2? And then what does Deshaun have left in the tank? Everybody loves a comeback story. It's been, I think, long enough from him being kind of in the mix that you never know. But that's the room. I mean, like, there it is.
That's it, yeah.
And I don't think there's anybody in that room today that you could say 100% we're going all in with you. The only person to me that you could even like make the case that you do that would be Shedeur.
Yeah.
Because you drafted him, he's on your rookie deal. You say we're going to go with it. And I think that the sooner that we can, if it is this room and there is anybody added, the sooner that we can say you are that guy, the better for this team.
Yes.
The better for this team.
Yeah. I
like
mean,
with Shedeur, I am curious to see what it looks like. He gets every rep all offseason. You do cater everything to his strengths, and Todd is really, really good with that. We draft a receiver at 6. We bring in another tight end, maybe Isaiah Likely, let's say. You've got all of a sudden now your 12 personnel is Fannin and Likely with Quinshawn, and you got, Judy and Carnell Tate.
Yeah.
Okay, like.
You got some weaponry there.
Yeah. Or Isaiah Bond,
like?
To run the big clear outs and the verticals. That I'm curious about. So that's kind of, to me, where things are. But this is not the best quarterback room in the league. I would imagine that many people are going to say, when they rank quarterback rooms going into this season, ours will be in the bottom 8, bottom quartile.
Yeah, I would say that's fair. Yeah.
And so you're going to need somebody to play your way out of that in-house, or there needs to be an addition made. I mean, we know it's an offensive overhaul. I do think that, seeing Shedeur and Deshaun and even Dylan, who I think is going to be a very good backup in this league for quite some time, this room is critically important to where we're going to be able to go. If we can, get solid quarterback play that makes us a top half of the league offense, even if we're number 16 in that top half of the league, with our defense, I think we have an opportunity to be pretty successful.
Yeah, I think so too. And the reason, and that's why I would think next week's going to be interesting is, there's all this Derek Carr stuff that's out there. You certainly saw the General's comments down in Houston. If C.J. Stroud gets traded, he's walking naked down a street. Mr. McClain with those comments on social yesterday.
That's unbelievable.
About CJ. So that's the other part of it, though. And if one of those dominoes starts to fall, then there are corresponding moves that start to happen around the league, too. Of the ones, not necessarily for us, but in terms of, like, watching Todd's success in Baltimore.
Yep.
Kyler would be the one, to me, that I would be curious to see what it looked like running that type of offense.
Okay.
And not necessarily to say that you want to paratroop him in. Who knows what that would even look like, or if you could bring him in. But knowing Todd, and I know that he mentioned that in his interview with you when he talked about the mobility, especially in the red zone, the things that go with that. He's kind of the one. I think he needs a dome. We're not getting a dome, not yet anyway. But eventually you'll have one. That's the one name out there. Of the guys who could be available, other than Willis, who I like a lot, I do wonder if the right people got a hold of Kyler, because he's had a pretty crazy NFL experience with coaches.
Yep.
3 coaches?
Well, part of it has been, I think, that
his own doing too.
Most definitely.
Yeah. But there's been times when you've watched him play, especially early in seasons, when you go, man, that you can win with that dude.
Well, I've watched him play against us. I mean, Kyler Murray for his career, 67% completions, 121 touchdowns, 60 picks, quarterback rating for his career of 92.2.
I mean, that's better than...
Yeah, he's been a 2-time Pro Bowler.
Way more established than anybody else on that list.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, he is 0-1 in one playoff appearance, and he threw for 137 yards and 2 picks in that game. And then what he does as a runner is also pretty useful. He averaged, run for 400 or 500 yards and 5 or so touchdowns. So he is somebody that can be, productive. He's never had a 4,000-yard season, but 3,800 in his last full season. That's the other thing. Here's Kyler Murray, 2021 14 games, 2022 11 games, 2023 8 games, 2024 full season 17 games, 2025 he played in just 5 games. He's 38-48 as a starter.
What was his last full season? Give me the stats if you have that up.
68.8% completions, 3,851 yards, 21 touchdowns, 11 picks, averaged 7.1 yards per attempt, quarterback rating of 93.5. He had 3 fourth-quarter comebacks, 3 game-winning drives in that one as well. And he ran that season for 572 yards and 5 touchdowns, averaging 7.3 yards a rush.
So I think he's the one who, like, if somehow, and I don't know what the path of him becoming available, but he's the one that to me would be interesting for a lot of teams. Not necessarily, this isn't necessarily a Browns conversation, but to me, he's the one that I think will be interesting for a lot of teams over there. If, like, what does that look like? How does he become available? Because what you just read off there, his last full season, that's pretty dang good.
Yeah, that would be put us in the top half of the league on offense.
For sure, yeah. And I know Tua. I'm more worried the Tua injury stuff I don't think it plays.
And he's
up
not
here.
mobile.
Yeah, he doesn't have that.
And he's not. This is outdoors. Like Kyler's got a hose.
He does.
Kyler has a very good arm.
Yeah,
but that would be a whole different thing. And what does that look like? What does it cost? What does that acquisition cost?
All of those are going to be questions for next week. You'll get a feel. If
Here's
those
the thing,
hit the market.
too, with Kyler. Kyler is, if he was traded, I don't know exactly what our number would be, but his cap number the next 2 years, 43, 52, 41, 46. Sign a contract extension in 2022.
How are they going to move him?
So if they were to trade him before June 1st, they'd have a dead cap of $17 million and a savings of $34 million. So that means wherever he goes, you have to pick up, it sounds like $34 million to pay him this year.
Okay. So there you go. That's where that room is. And, potentially if there are additions made to it, that's who some of those additions could be. We will go around the sports world coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Be part of one of the most passionate fan base in the NFL. Become a season ticket member today. Join us at Huntington Bank Field for all home games this year. Visit Browns.com/tickets. Now, what you got a score update, Team USA over there, Gibbe?
I think we're at the intermission 0-0 in the first intermission.
The Schifrin girl won gold. Saw that.
Yeah,
this morning. That was
by
good.
a second and a half.
Crushed it.
Which is good because yesterday I think was like a rough day for Team USA. Like
Was it?
I mean,
Yeah.
they're winning medals, but there were some that were projected gold that silver,
figure skater
bronze, or
girl
not anything.
Did not do well.
The you know what I kind of came to the realization? Do you know how many Winter Olympic sports there are? How many events there are?
It's only like 16.
You nailed it. There are 16 exactly. Good job out of you, Gibbe. You get the
Thank
gold
you.
star. I really think there's only about 6 sports. They're just different varieties of the same thing.
Like, are you counting like
So,
the
there's
Super
downhill
G,
skiing.
women combined?
So there's downhill skiing, like all the alpine skiing.
So that's one sport.
Well, they count it as one, but I would say that alpine skiing isn't that different from freestyle skiing, which isn't that different from cross-country skiing, which isn't that different from the biathlon, which isn't that different from mountaineering. Those are all skiing.
Yeah, but I think like downhill
There's
is different
diff-
than
it's-
slalom.
But
or
in the
Super
in
G.
the Summer Olympics, we just call it all swimming.
Right.
There's breaststroke, butterfly, freestyle, whatever, IM, all of it, but it's all just swimming. This is all just skiing. It's just different varieties of it.
Sure.
Same thing with the skating. Figure skating, speed skating, short track speed skating. It's all just skating. Think about the luge, bobsled, skeleton. Get in an apparatus or get on an apparatus and go down fast.
Two-man luge.
Two-man luge.
I don't understand.
How does somebody like, you know what, I'm going to be in the two-man luge?
Hey, we got something. We need another event. What if we put another dude or gal and let's go 2?
What do they do on what?
The only difference.
What is the
so
role?
Skeleton, you go head first and you get a running start.
Yes.
Yep.
Luge, you do the thing where they
Yep.
propel themselves and it's feet first.
But why do they
Yeah,
feel the
but
need
the
to add a
feet
second
first.
luge?
Why are there 2? Why is
Why
there
is there
someone
two?
laying
What's
on
the
top
second
of someone
loser
else?
do?
You seeing my point?
Two-man
I
bobsled.
can't be the
four-man
brake
bobsled.
person if I can't see. What?
I think there's like 3 sports that they've turned into 16 events.
Curling's got 400
Curling
different
stands
things.
on its own,
The
I
sport
guess.
that Zagura
Hockey.
hates.
And then hockey. So that's it. I think
Hockey's
there's
kind of skating, isn't it?
I think there's like 5 or 6 sports and they've turned it into 16 events. I really do.
Yeah, I mean the summer games.
Ski
there are
jumping?
countless options.
Skiing again.
But jumping.
Now we're jumping. Well,
we're jumping.
we jump in freestyle,
You sure do. You get big air.
big air,
Snowboarding.
snowboarding, similar to skiing. 1 plank versus 2.
Matter of fact, you usually have to start on skis and then go to snowboard.
That's usually what they do. Yeah, I know.
Yes.
Like at Boston Mills, they make you go. They won't teach
how
you
my
skis,
daughters did.
and then they get you to snowboard
Yeah.
by the time you finally get there. Yeah, so it's all done. What, this weekend?
Sunday.
That's it. Yeah, and the gold medal hockey game's at like 8:10 in the morning on Sunday,
That's right.
which is be interesting. So it's set. It'll be, if we can handle our business, it should be us against Canada in the final, which
Be
will be a
pretty
blood
amazing.
feud if you get that at 8:10 in the morning.
I think that's like the final event, I would think, of the Olympics.
Yeah. Did the NBA All-Star game register for you guys at all?
I enjoyed it. It was on in the background as I was getting ready to go to dinner over the anniversary weekend. I enjoy. I think they played hard. I liked it.
Did it?
Yeah, I thought it was fun.
I always judge this.
clutch shots. It was the ratings were the highest they've
Yeah,
been.
they did like 8 million.
Yeah,
I always judge this by my kids because I think that's the audience that they're trying to get, and there was no mention of can we watch, which I thought was a pretty damning piece of evidence that they were like, now we were on vacation, so that probably
Sure.
factored in, but there wasn't
Absolutely.
like, hey, we got to watch this. Like that didn't happen. So, yeah.
I mean, will they have 8 or 9 million? But
It's
again,
a great
like,
number.
All-Star Saturday night. You know, I'm out with some friends Saturday night.
Yeah.
Like, wanted to watch. 3-point shootout was done, and it was still daylight out.
yeah.
Who won it?
I have no idea.
I don't know who won that or the dunk. Maybe the first time ever. I don't know who won either one.
Yeah, like because they wanted to get done to go to the Olympics. Well, you're your own thing.
Oh,
What are
because
you
it was on
doing?
NBC.
Yeah, they had to get
So
ready for the
there's your
Olympics.
8 million number too. That helped.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of the 8 million number.
I was like, what? We can't have this at 6:30 at night.
Yeah.
Like I can't.
No, that's not it. That ain't it at all. Am I reading this right? D. Orlando is up next?
Yeah, baby.
Want to know about our new defensive coordinator?
God almighty.
Go to the source.
I mean, we got a lot to talk about with that guy. That
Yeah,
guy's
we
an
do.
all-time
Hall
legend.
of Famer.
He is a Hoff. He's a Hoff. D'Orlando coming up next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Second hour, Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. Time to head out on the Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. Keep it twisted, Cleveland. He is the 2022 Georgia Sports Writer of the Year. He is the Pro Football Writers Association President Emeritus. He is the 2024 Build On Award winner for the Pro Football Hall of Fame Writers Wing. He is our guy. He is a great luminary. He is D. Orlando Ledbetter, Atlanta Falcons beat writer for the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, and he joins us now live. D. Orlando, great to talk to you, my friend. You like Mike Rutenberg coming in here for us?
Yes, I do, and thanks for that wonderful introduction. I think he's a good addition to Coach Monken's staff. He certainly has put in the work coming up the coaching ladder and did a great job in his 1 year here in Atlanta.
D. Orlando, what was it about that Falcons defense last year that allowed them to be so successful? Obviously, they keep Jeff Ulbrich there, and we know that Kevin Stefanski, our former head coach, now the head coach of the Atlanta Falcons, we'll talk about him in a second, but what can Rutenberg bring from his kind of time with Ulbrich, with Saleh before that, to the Browns that you saw be successful with the Falcons a year ago?
Yeah, it was the intricacy of connecting the back end of the defense to the front end and working in unison and doing a lot of different things with new people. I mean, there were rookies back there all over the place and, sprinkled in with some veterans that they were rotating in and out with. But the ability to teach, motivate, and put together a cohesive unit, even though, they had holes, they did a good job for the most part. Top second in the league in rushing the passer. Had to do some games in blitz to do that, but that worked when their coverage was able to hold up on the back end. So pretty intricate stuff they were doing here. Not so much in New York under Saleh, but they had better players. They could just hold their ground and play zone and let the front get after you. But here they had to coach up some stuff and scheme up some things, and it worked pretty good, and Mike was a big part of that.
D. Orlando, what can you tell us about Mike from a personality standpoint? He's replacing, obviously, Jim Schwartz here, who's got a massive personality. What can you tell us about leadership style, personality?
Yeah, very, very personable. The players gravitated to him. They called him Coach Rudy. He was more like the friend. He can play the friend role while Ulbrich can play the taskmaster role. So that's the one concern moving to the head spot. You're not going to be able to be friends with everybody. But, the players that I talked to said, hey, this guy is making us better. This guy is simplifying things for us. Now we can just go play football and go faster. So his ability to teach and motivate, was kind of the thing, that came through. And personally, I like the guy. He came up to me and said, hey, I've been watching your work for years. So, it flattered me right off the bat when I talked to him, the personality-wise. So he was my guy right away. And so I started digging a little more on him and his background. And it was fun watching him work last year doing that.
Orlando, what do you expect from a Falcons perspective now? Kevin Stefanski's down there. Obviously, unfortunately, some off-the-field issues have arisen. But what do you expect to be kind of the big stories around this Atlanta Falcons team when we head to the Combine? And what are your kind of initial impressions of our former coach, Kevin Stefanski?
Yeah, Coach Kevin, watched that whole thing up there. Started off great, getting us back to the playoffs. Was it 17 or 19 years? I remember 12. It was
too long.
Like but then, too long for sure. And then, nearly beating the Chiefs, which was big. And, getting back there, playing 5 quarterbacks, the 2 coaches of the year deals. And then everything, the Deshaun Watson deal kind of submarined everything for him. And the franchise, with the injuries and the suspension and, still kind of reeling from that. But, people, once they look at the whole record, they understand that, this could be a very good hire for the Falcons. But a lot of people just looked at the last couple of years and were like, I think he won 8 games in the last 2.
That's
and,
correct.
Like replacing Morris with a coach with a losing record over the same period of time. So, folks have both sides of the story here. But when you dig a little deeper, that the there was some good coaching going on at some level there and in Minnesota.
Orlando, when was the last time that you said something that ignited an interdivisional rivalry that I believe will end with the Falcons and the Buccaneers playing in Week 1 in prime time this year? And I believe that you are solely responsible for that.
Well, that wasn't. I was trying to just write a story about the quarterback situation in Cleveland. I think it was 19 starters under Stefanski. And, the first one was Baker Mayfield, so he made the headline, and the second one was Watson. And I went through DTR, went through the whole list, Driscoll, all of them, And but Baker got triggered and retweeted it, and said he called me his pal. I guess that was a good thing. But Dominic Buckler,
he used pal like my grandfather right there, D'Orlando. That was not a friendly pal. That was how my grandfather used the word pal.
That's what I would come to understand. That wasn't friendly. And now he wants Coach Kevin on the middle of the 50. When they showdown at the old Sombrero down there in Tampa. We'll see if that's the opening week game or not.
Don't you think it's going to be? I mean, I feel like it's going to be. I think it's got to be. That's a ready-made.
It was 2 years ago. It was up here though. So yeah, it makes sense to me.
How has the hiring of Kevin down there? How has that hit with the fans?
It was kind of slow burn. At first, everybody kind of jumped on the fact that the Browns haven't been doing that well under him recently. But then once they dug in a little bit and saw, what he did at Minnesota, what he did early on in Cleveland, and they certainly understood the Deshaun Watson deal because he was, he's from here, from Gainesville, right close to the practice facility, was a former ball boy. For them, and then as that unfolded, the fact that hitters in that and lost it, they were still trying to replace Matt Ryan, so they understand what happened to the Browns and Coach Stefanski, and they, Falcons haven't been to the playoffs in 8 years, so he's got them beat in that regard. He's been to the playoffs, so once you look at it and take a little bit deeper dive, folks are in a better place with the hire.
What is going to happen with Kirk Cousins and that quarterback situation? Because as you documented pretty well, the quarterback, that was an issue for Kevin Stefanski here. Penix has been banged up. Kirk Cousins finished the year, looked really good, but I know they kind of restructured that deal. What can you tell us from somebody down there? Because I know obviously Kirk played well for Kevin Stefanski in Minnesota, so they have a strong relationship. How do you see that quarterback room playing out?
Yeah, I think we're seeing it play out with the Kirk Cousins probably being released here. Could happen at the Combine next week or certainly for New Year starts because he wants to look at a starting situation somewhere, wherever that is. So if he gets that, then he's on his way. The Falcons are holding out hope perhaps that, if that doesn't happen, and the best situation for him is here in Atlanta, with Kevin Stefanski, and they'll keep the door open for him, with a reasonable contract deal to move forward with him as the potential starter, backup, let him compete, whatever situation until Michael Penix gets back under Kevin Stefanski. Which if he starts off, he might not lose his job this time around because he'll know the system and know Stefanski wants to play. So it's an option that he comes back, but he certainly, he told him that he felt misled by the franchise when they drafted Penix just weeks after signing him to the lucrative contract.
D'Orlando, if you've watched all the snaps that Michael Penix has taken in the NFL, if you were running in that operation, how do you view him?
Yeah, as a young quarterback, that's finding his way. I mean, I'm not expecting guys to come in and light it up. I did see Matt Ryan's first rookie year, but he didn't come in and light it up. He had a good defense, and he had a 2,000-yard running back in Michael Turner and Jarius Norwood. So all he had to do was once the safety came up, is look to the right or left and throw it to Roddy. So, it's not that simple for quarterbacks these days. And, I like to see some more accuracy underneath. That was a problem coming into the league because, people know he's got a gun, so they just lay back and you dare him to throw in the cover. So he wasn't comfortable hitting those underneath passes, not a lot of stuff over the middle of the field, but, big enough arm and enough teaching with his footwork and so forth. Those are minor holes. I'd rather have the holes underneath than him not having the ability to stretch defenses and throw it up the seam and so forth. So a lot of work for him to do, but he has got the talent and the arm to be a successful quarterback. And what you do worry about all the surgeries. There have been 5. This has been the 5th surgery for him.
Yeah, and that's a tough thing. One guy who kind of really came on for them last year, we talked about the franchise tag window is open. Is Kyle Pitts a candidate for that? Do you think they want to bring him back?
Yeah, we just that was I got to do one of those newsletter deals, and that was the lead was how you deal with Kyle Pitts. Do you they didn't tag him immediately. You certainly want to try to get an extension, and then if you don't, near the end of the period, you go ahead and tag him. And that's 16.3 million on your cap. You only got 26, so you don't really want to do that either. But yeah, Kyle Pitts is a candidate. You get the deal done, so the cap's not higher, and you can go. So the cap number's lower, so you can go after however many free agents you want to get. You got a linebacker you want to try to sign, Caden Ellis, and maybe the big tackle David Oyamada. Probably can't re-sign the running back Tyler Algier, but that's they're in a tight cap situation. A lot of that brought on by the Kirk Cousins contract.
Orlando, how would you rank the 4 teams in that division heading into the Combine next week?
Well, I still think Tampa Bay, even though they fell off a little bit last year, is probably the best team. Then, I'm just not buying the Panthers for some reason. But they did play pretty good against the Rams in the playoffs, so I might have to reconsider that. But the Falcons, they lost to Carolina twice, so you give them the nod over them. They split with Tampa Bay, and then New Orleans is down there, coming for everybody from the bottom now. So it's still, I still think it's Tampa Bay, Carolina, the Falcons, and the Saints.
Yeah, competitive.
I think the Falcons will win that division.
Hey, are they going back to the old unis?
They're going they got a uniform change coming up. The fans like the red helmets down here, so I think they're going to answer to that. And some fans like the old Jerry Glanville.
The Jeff Georges, we call them on this show, Orlando. We call those the Jeff Georges.
Well, one of us does. Yeah.
I do. I call those the Jeff Georges. That's right. The black helmet, black jersey over the silver pants. Those are tremendous. Some people call them the Dion's.
I tend to go Dion. I tend to go Dion. He goes Jeff George. Very similar players.
Listen, they got rid of Jeff George. They put Bobby Hebert in there the next year, and they went straight to the bottom.
Straight down.
June Jones, thanks for nothing.
Hey, buddy. Thank you so much. Hope to see you over at the Combine.
Sure, no problem. We'll be heading up there Monday or Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
All right, buddy. There he goes.
Orlando, legend.
The great, the legend, the Hall of Famer, Orlando Ledbetter, Atlanta Journal-Constitution on the Falcons beat, joining us on the Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea Hotline, presented by Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea, official sponsor of your Cleveland Browns. We've got mock drafts. We've got a little thing or not a thing. All sorts of fun coming your way next. You listen to Cleveland Browns Daily, presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland. The new Rumpke Recycling Resource Center helps feed the circular economy by supplying Ohio companies and others in the Midwest with material they need to put what you place in your bins to good use. Learn more about the facility and how you can recycle more. Visit rumpke.com today. We are all ready to mock draft 2.0 for Daniel Jeremiah.
Well,
He's
yeah.
just cranking them out. I don't know.
Just already.
They always have to do a pre-combine one, then they'll do 3.0 probably right out of the combine.
Normally that pre-one is like on that Monday of combine week. I wonder if they're like, hey, look, everybody's traveling on Monday, so no one's ever around.
Yeah.
So maybe we need a little, if we get it out the week before the combine, because there's nothing going on this week in the NFL.
No.
You have Olympics going on. NBA's dead till I don't know when. I think tomorrow because of All-Star
the
week.
All-Star, yeah.
So,
and then,
there's
there's not a lot going on. Yeah, no NHL obviously because of the hockey at the Olympics. So yeah, we continue to have picks 6 and 24. Daniel Jeremiah in his most recent draft. Spencer Fano. You know what we should do? We should have either young Gabriel. I think this would be a great little project for him. Track the mock drafts and. As they go, pick like 3 that we want to say, like, these are the ones we want to pay attention to. And I would be very interested to know, like, their first mock draft, like just a straight line of guys mocked to us over months. Because Spencer Fano to us is constant at 6. I mean, it's constant. I see that more than anything else, more than Tate, more than a receiver. It's Fano at 6. He writes the Browns should be hoping one of the top offensive tackles is available to them at 6. Cleveland Snakes Fano to start from day 1. And then at 24, DJ has us taking Georgia offensive tackle Monroe Freeling. This draft to be a big success for the Browns. They land 2 starting offensive linemen. They do in this scenario with Freeling joining Fano. If DeJuan Jones stays healthy, I think Fano could play inside. Boy.
Segura, how do you feel about that?
6th overall playing inside.
I'm not a fan of this at all. And I was on a group chat with somebody who was like, offensive linemen are weapons.
Not.
And I said, no, they're not.
Not weapons.
I said this outcome right here would make me want to vomit. Unless we got a huge free agent or trade wide receiver. Where we got
A.J. Brown comes in here, fine.
Okay, I'd feel a little
Sort
bit
it
better.
out.
Sure.
Yeah.
And there was somebody on that group chat who was pretty good at what he did.
Pretty good.
And may have been on the offensive line. Didn't realize the time he was on the chat to be perfectly
Well,
fair.
we get too many of those.
We have too many of
There
those.
are
I don't know which
so
one.
many.
And half the time, like if I've had a cocktail, I got to double read. Like, all right, who's on this?
Well, I didn't
before
do
my
that.
responses.
I did not do that, and I.
Well, but you have a good rapport with that. I would say a great rapport with that.
He actually chimed right in and goes, "I
agree.
Agree.
I agree."
So there you go.
There it is.
Yeah.
And I've gone through. Listen, I've been on record as being totally fine with, by the way, 2 offensive linemen in our first 3 picks.
Yeah.
We just don't take first-round receivers, and I want to get a stud.
Yes.
And to me, that could be at 6 or 24. It's probably more likely at 6. If you think Carnell Tate's the best receiver in this class and he's on the board there, I would want to add him to our roster, period.
Yeah.
The end of the story. So that I don't love the idea of. Then again, we're pushing it down. Again, the only 2 receivers the Browns take in the first round since they returned in 1999 are Braylon Edwards and Corey Coleman.
That's it. That's the list.
That's the entirety of the list. And we have just not, unfortunately, we have not proven to be good at drafting receivers in later rounds.
Yep.
We just haven't. That's just unfortunately an unfortunate reality of the situation. We've tried many times. In the 3rd round, we got 2 guys that aren't even in the league anymore, at least to my knowledge. That we drafted.
This would
in the
almost
3rd rounds.
break us, I think, if this went this way, and all of a sudden the Cincinnati Bengals got Downs at 10. Jordan Tyson goes 14 to the Ravens, and then Denzel Boston goes 21 to the Steelers. And then Caleb Downs goes right ahead. Or I'm sorry, Carnell Tate goes right ahead of us to the Giants.
Yes, that would be.
That would be just like,
watch.
come on, man.
Yeah, not cool. That would not be.
That is
very
not cool, dude.
I think Reese goes. He has Reese going 7. That surprises me. Does that surprise you?
I think Arvell is going to be very interesting over there because I think I think Sonny is going to test off the charts, and I think Arvell will test I think he'll test well. I don't think he'll get to 7. I think the most interesting prospect in this first round is going to be Caleb Downs because I think as more and more people watch the tape of him, and when more and more people talk to him, you're going to say, I think that there will be a borderline consensus by the time we leave Indy next week. I would not be surprised if there's a borderline consensus that the best player in this draft, the surest thing in this draft, is Caleb Downs. But I also think that the position he plays is not a premium position. So I think how he's drafted is going to be fascinating.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go as early as people think, at least from things that I've heard. And it's because of his position, which at some point you just get the best player, in my opinion. And
Dane was having a back and forth with somebody about him, and he's like, I think he's the best player in it. I saw Breer having some of those comments. Like,
I'd have no problem, and I've said this before, I really would have absolutely no problem if the Browns ended up taking if I personally, I like Caleb Downs a great deal. I think he is excellent. I don't think he would go to us at 6, but if like Caleb Downs kind of fell into the middle of the first round somewhere, I wouldn't mind going and getting him. Or if he fell to 24, I think that's a no-brainer, like sprint up there. You know, it's funny. I'm on NFL.com right now.
Yep.
And when you click on Daniel Jeremiah, they just have his mock 1.0. That's like the lead headline. They don't even have mock 2.0. Mock 1.0 had us taking David Bailey, Texas Tech edge. Arvell Reese went second in his original mock. Second. So that's typically when you see a shift of that magnitude, that means something to me. And we can ask him about that when we're there, because obviously that'll be of interest to our listeners.
Yeah.
But again, I'm about weapons and scoring and all of that. I think about, when I've been here in my tenure alone with the Cleveland Browns, we've had Joe Thomas, who is probably the best left tackle ever, Joel Bitonio, who is maybe
borderline,
but like in consideration.
He's going in the Browns Ring of Honor.
100%.
For sure.
Alex Mack, Pro Bowler, All-Pro. Jack Conklin's been a first-team All-Pro. Wyatt Teller, a 3-time Pro Bowler. Johnny Greco was excellent in his time here as well. Mitchell Schwartz was excellent in his time here. If we had that quality of offensive line in weaponry over this time period, and that would include quarterback, obviously.
Yeah.
You're
winning divisions. You're in the
winning divisions. Yeah. We're winning Super Bowls. I mean, if we're being honest, I think
Hall of Fame, like a true blue blood Hall of Fame first ballot, and then 4 other guys who are all pro guys.
Yes.
Yeah, you're winning massive things at that point.
Yes.
So yeah, I agree with you. So
that goes back to just where my mind is, and that's why I think that's kind of why I think that's what it's got to be.
Well, we did this last week, and we kind of outlined like the Seattle blueprint, because that's much more attainable quicker for us than the other one.
Yep.
Because we're picking 6 and everybody, the quarterbacks, all of it. Like the Seattle blueprint, you have to have Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yes.
Like
it doesn't work without
It does
Jackson
not
Smith
work
and Jigba. No.
without the offensive player of the year in the National Football League.
Correct.
You've got to have that weapon.
Correct.
Then you can lean on the defense. You can lean on, the offensive line coming together and the quarterback and the rest of it. But you got to have one of them. You got to have one guy who everybody has to game plan for.
Yes.
And without it, you're limited with what you can do.
It's very difficult.
Very, very difficult. All right. We'll do a little thing or not a thing up next. What do you got? You got an update?
I do. The USA is on the board 1-0.
Let's go.
Under 5 to play in the second period.
I just want
us, Canada, in the gold will be nuts. And that's how it should go.
That's a little Sunday morning.
That's a real treat.
Yeah.
One thing I want to just remind people of is that in the season in which Joe Flacco threw for more than 300 yards in 5 straight games, that we went to the playoffs, that Amari was thriving, Njoku goes to a Pro Bowl because we're throwing the ball so well. Our starting tackles were 2 of the following 3 for this run: James Hudson, DeJuan Jones, and Jaron Christian.
The defense rests. Or I guess in our case, the prosecution rests.
I mean,
yeah, come on. All right, we'll do this little thing or not a thing coming up next. You'll listen to Cleveland Browns Daily. We're presented by Ballybet, official sports betting partner of Cleveland Browns. Please bet responsibly on 850 ESPN Cleveland.
Be a part of the most passionate fan base in the NFL. Become a season ticket member today and join us at Huntington Bank Field for all home games this year. Visit browns.com/tickets right now. All right, Gibby.
Hi.
By
the way, if anybody has any questions as well, send them over. Tweet them to us at Browns_Daily. Happy to get to a few of those as well here.
All right.
So, right now, though, thing or not a thing. Fox Sports NFL reporter Ralph Vacchiano?
Yeah.
Sure.
He's from New York.
Gives us his way too early NFL coaching hot seat rankings for 2026. Who's already on the hot seat going into the 2026 season? By the way, second period just wrapped. The U.S. going to the locker room up 1-0 on Sweden.
Man.
So that's a good thing. So this is a thing or not a thing.
Okay.
Number one, the Jets head coach, Aaron Glenn. He's the number one hot seat head coach going into 2026. Thing or not a thing?
Yeah, that's a thing. He is definitely on the hot seat, I would say, Aaron Glenn. And turned over his entire staff after last year. So he said, everybody else is the problem, but not me. And they were dreadful last year, were the Jets, 3-14. Their margin of defeat, they had a negative 203-point differential. Negative 203-point differential. One of the worst in the league. So, yeah, it's worse than the Titans. It might have been the worst in the league, as a matter of fact, as I look at it now. So, yes, I think he is very much on the hot seat. Would not surprise me at all if this is it.
And I'm not looking to fire coaches, but the fact that he survived year one and literally replaced 3/4 of his staff.
Yep.
I'm kind of shocked he's coming back for year two, but he is a Jets legend, so
yeah,
that's how you get that second chance. But I don't know if there'll be a third if this coming year goes as poorly as last, and frankly, I'm not sure how it's going to get better given the quarterback situation.
Yeah.
The number two hottest coaching seat from Fox Sports NFL is Nick Sirianni of the Philadelphia Eagles. Thing or not a thing?
So you got to say that it is a thing, right? I think. Because Nick Sirianni is in Philadelphia. And Doug Peterson was fired by the Eagles in 2021 following a 4-11 finish. Now, Peterson and the Eagles had been better than that, right, prior. And Sirianni certainly has been better than that. But this is in 2017, won the Super Bowl. 4 years later, he was gone. I do think Sirianni's on the hot seat just because there's something that felt a little bit off about what was going on there and the Philadelphia Eagles. So that's what makes me just wonder a little bit. But if you look at Sirianni since he's been the coach, 9-8, 14-3, 11-6, 14-3, 11-6. They've won the East 3 of the last 4 years. When you looked at when Peterson was there, he went 7-9, 13-3, won the Super Bowl, 9-7, 9-7, then 4-11-1, and that got him canned. So I think he's on the hot seat if things don't go well. But if they win another double-digit games, I would be pretty surprised if he got fired at the end of this year.
Yeah, 2 Super Bowl appearances. I think if things were to not look great this year, I still don't know if they would pull the trigger. But I don't know how long the leash would be the following year.
I think if they went something like 5-12, you'd be fired.
Oh, I think that's totally in play. Like if the wheels completely fell off?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah. I think it's important for them to get their offense going again.
I still don't – I will never understand what exactly went wrong there.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, it starts with Jalen Hurts, and he's got to play a lot better. Thing or not a thing, Fox Sports NFL coaching hot seat rankings for 2026. Number 3 is Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Thing or not a thing?
8-9, 9-8, 10-7, 8-9. One game over 500. I think if I have that right.
Sounds right. Sounds like it.
Yeah, I think absolutely. I think at some point it's like we either have to figure this out or we have to blow the whole thing up.
Well, you choke down the stretch.
Yeah, I mean, they've been first or second in the division every year he's been there just because the division has been so bad. They actually had a negative point differential this year, went 8-9. I do think I think he should be on the hot seat. I think that, honestly, they should have considered, getting rid of him and putting Liam Cohen in that seat even last year. Coming off of his best season as a coach, I would have considered that. I really think that was a mistake.
Yeah. Nope, I agree with you on that. And now you're probably going to have to do it without Mike Evans. So, because all signs seem to point that he will test the free agent waters somewhere.
Yep.
Number 4 on the list on the hot seat rankings, Dave Canales, Carolina.
Does he have a rationale for this? Are there any written words that are not
hold on,
that I'm not privy to?
Stand by. I believe I have those written down somewhere.
I don't think so, no. My answer is no, he is not on the hot seat. Not a thing.
I wouldn't think so either, but I know
made the playoffs, the offense. You saw Bryce Young.
A little irrational, though.
Bryce Young take a little bit of a step forward. McMillan looked good. So do I think that they're great? No. But I think that he's developing, and you're seeing your young quarterback develop a little bit with him, and I would think that has to be encouraging.
So this is Ralph Vacchiano. His 2025 season was a nauseating roller coaster ride. He went from the hot seat to Coach of the Year candidate to the hot seat again and then to the playoffs, where his team gave the Rams all they could handle. So it ended on a relative high, but is that sustainable? It better be, considering Canales enters year 3 working for an impulsive owner. There's not much room to slide backwards from an 8-9 season and a 13-21 overall record. It doesn't help that his primary job has been the development of quarterback Bryce Young, and the progress there has been inconsistent. I'm not sure I agree with that.
Me neither. I don't think he's on the hot seat now. I think if the season goes off the rails, everybody's on the hot seat. But I wouldn't put him on the hot seat right now. No, I don't think he's on the hot seat right now.
Upwards we go. Number 5, thing or not a thing, and we go to Northern Kentucky. And Zach Taylor, the head coach of the Bengals.
He's got to be on the hot seat. He's got to be. I don't see how he's not. They haven't been to the playoffs in 3 years.
When's his contract up? Because that's what it comes down to. I don't think you could put him on the hot seat.
He's been there for 7 years, Gibbe.
Yeah, but what? But again, the Bengals are cheap.
So my guess is he probably signs an extension after the Super Bowl. So 1, 2, maybe there's at most 2 years left on it. I think he's on the hot seat. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
He should be. He 100. I mean, it's malfeasance what that organization has put around.
Yeah, and that's not all his fault, to be fair. But yes,
correct.
He should be on the hot seat.
He did fire the defensive coordinator that went on to Indy and had a little bit of success.
Lou Anarumo. Yeah, but I think that was probably pressure from above.
That's right. Number 6, we go to Indianapolis, where we will be next week for the Combine, and Shane Steichen. Thing or not a thing?
9-8, 8-9, 8-9. No playoff appearances. Yeah, I think 3 years. Yeah, he's on the hot seat. Yes.
I don't know about that because I don't know. Look what he did with Daniel Jones before Jones got hurt.
I know, but he did get hurt, and
then you did nothing.
They were not very good after that. I think he's on a warm seat. I'd call him a warm seat.
Okay. He might be the sweet spot right there where he's currently ranked. Number 7 is an interesting one, given everything that's happened up in Minnesota here this offseason. Kevin O'Connell, our good friend.
So if what has been reported is true, which is that Kwesi got fired even though O'Connell was the one who had the full say over the quarterback situation, if that is true, now he's on the hot seat. If that's not true, then I don't think he's on the hot seat. But if that's true, and you got your way, you won the power struggle, you need to deliver right now.
You're
So
gonna deliver with J.J. McCarthy. Wolf.
Sam Darnold going and winning the Super Bowl for Seattle was not good for anybody in that organization. Kwesi got fired. And if the reports are true, obviously Kwesi could have done things better. That's clear. But if the reports are true that O'Connell was the one who actually handled and drove the entire quarterback situation, then to me that puts him firmly on the hot seat. Ownership said, "Okay, we got your back now, but you better deliver or it's curtains."
Yep. I would think that he would have to be. If you've already fired the GM, the head coach has got to put up or shut up. And especially if you have a star like Justin Jefferson, and if he's not getting the ball again this year and starts to complain, I think at that point the owner's got to listen hard. Number 8 on the list, Dan Quinn, the head coach at Washington. Thing or not a thing?
I don't think he's on the hot seat at the moment. I think if things don't go well, I could see him being on the hot seat, but I don't think he's on the hot seat right now because, you have your quarterback healthy. You go to the NFC Championship game in his rookie year. In the second year, your quarterback is not healthy, and you go 5-12. So entering year 3, I do not believe that he is on the hot seat yet.
See, I think he could be. I mean, we talked about it on this show. Like, should they have made a move to get rid of him and go get John Harbaugh?
Potentially, but to me, he's on a warm seat at best. He's on a warm seat. Like
he ran Cliff Kingsbury off.
I think he's on. I think going into the season, they said, okay, let's see one more year with Jaden Daniels healthy and see where that lands us, and that's what I think they're looking at. So I don't think he's necessarily on the hot seat right now. No.
Takes us to number 9,
which is this one's completely insane. When was this written?
This came out February 11th.
How does he justify? What's his words for this one?
Matt LaFleur, Green Bay Packers. Remember, there was talk about, are the Packers going to part ways with him after the season? And part of that was, they held off on giving him a contract extension. He just got a multi-year contract extension.
Yeah, but he just got it, Gibbe.
I know. I'm reading this article. But since when has that mattered anywhere outside of Cincinnati? New team president Ed Policy was unsure enough about LaFleur last year that he made him twist until the end of the season. Part of that is because the stakes are high in Titletown and LaFleur's Packers teams haven't made a deep run in 5 years. His 76-40-1 record is stellar, and it's great that he's made the playoffs 6 times in 7 years, but he has 1 playoff win since the 2021 season and a 3-6 postseason record overall. If the Packers slip next season or fail to get beyond the divisional round of the playoffs, that contract extension might not be enough to save him.
It's a multi-year extension. It's guaranteed money. He's been one of the winningest coaches in the league. If they were going to get rid of him, they would trade him. Rather, they would try to trade him.
I would think so, especially because that group is you're owned by the public.
Yes.
Final one, Brian Schottenheimer, Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, somebody said that the new contract is not a prove-it deal. It is a real commitment long-term. He is not on the hot seat at all. Brian Schottenheimer, I do think he's on the hot seat, but one of the things that's actually pretty interesting is that Jerry is not a quick trigger guy.
2 minutes.
You look at the coaches that have been there. So Jason Garrett is there from 2011 to 19. McCarthy's there from 20 to 24. Wade Phillips was there 4 years. Parcells was there 4 years. Dave Campo 3. Chan Gailey is the last coach that was there for 2 years or fewer. The only one that's ever been there for 2 years or fewer in his tenure. So I don't think he's. It's the Cowboys. I feel like there's a lot of pressure there, but it does not feel to me like he is firmly on the hot seat right now.
Okay. In our final moments here on this first Friday edition of the program from Iron Will, our good friend, please tell us all how to pronounce our new head coach's last name, and I hope Andrew Siciliano is listening.
Ooh. Gibby, why would you air that kind of dirty laundry? Don't you have to go do a BPA with the man?
Yeah. I don't know what.
It's Munkin, like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yeah.
Munkin.
He knows that. I don't know why there's What's the crime going after our guy?
I don't know. He must be saying Munkin, like you
No,
were saying.
he
for a while.
doesn't.
Then I don't know. But it's Munkin like Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
Munkin, the Munkin men. And there it is.
30.
All right, that'll do it for us today. Thanks to DeOrlando Ledbetter. It's great to see Bo back in studio. We'll be back again tomorrow with more Cleveland Browns Daily, brought to you by Bally Bet, official sports betting partner of your Cleveland Browns.